Thank you very much once again for joining us on Discussafrica TV. We are very grateful and very delighted to have a very special guest today with us, and she has so much information to share, so I hope you will enjoy yourself. It's Hilda Opoku-Mensah. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mabel and I'm here with
Akanze.
Yeah, and we are very grateful that you could actually take some time off to share a lot of information about Fairtrade. I'm actually personally very excited because there's so much information that basically, like, we don't really know that much about Fairtrade. So, but first of all, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay. Normally I say that I'm a part-time African.
Okay.
I live here in Trondheim. This is where I work and where my children school. But my husband is a Ghanaian.
Okay.
And we go quite often to Ghana.
Okay.
Basically, as I'm saying, I live here in Trondheim and I'm a politician. And that's why we are in the City Hall of Trondheim right now.
Yeah.
Because this is where I work.
That's a great venue because, yeah, we've seen a whole lot of things. You've given us a free tour. Yeah, okay. And you said you're a politician. I understand that you're very much involved in environmental political issues. Have you always been...
It has been a process, how much I have been engaged in environmental issues. But I think that the first kind of awareness started in preschool when it was a big campaign in Norway and every plastic bag had this little tag saying that keep Norway clean, and all the kids in kindergarten were picking up garbage and all that. And that started the process. And of course, as a Norwegian, we are a lot outdoor. We, you know, you appreciate nature a lot. And then as time has grown, it has become part of my education. And now I'm representing the Environmental Green Party, so I've taken it to that level.
Okay, that's really great. Yeah, and you are currently involved with Fairtrade.
Yeah. We have a board for Fairtrade in Trondheim. Because since 2007, the City Council decided that Trondheim was going to strive towards becoming Fairtrade certificated as a community. Okay. And since 2010, we have been that. And I'm now heading the board for Fairtrade in Trondheim. So I'm kind of coordinating the PR activities around Fairtrade.
Okay, so that's pretty much how you got involved with Fairtrade.
That's how I'm involved right now, but as I'm saying, I go often to Africa and I've seen how some people live, and I have seen that others are in better conditions, and it have made me curious. And I learned about Fairtrade myself from visiting some of these farms, and thought this was an excellent way of trading instead of just charity.
Yeah. But what exactly, I'm sorry, what exactly is Fairtrade?
It is a trade label, which once you see that label, you know that there is a security system around it that makes sure that the farmer or the producers, that normally are those who earn less in a product chain, actually get a fair share of the income from that trade.
Okay, that's really great.
So that's as a whole is very important, not just like, you know, getting the right product, but also for the farmers as well. So it's like, what are some of the products that we can get from Fairtrade?
Oh, since this started in 1988, it has really increased in number of products. Okay. It started out with coffee and cocoa, bananas, pineapples, but now you can have wine, you can have clothings. The latest thing is even gold, roses, rice, pasta, you name it. More and more businesses are becoming Fairtrade certificated.
That's quite impressive. That's like you kind of like having your own country with your own product, like everybody getting themselves involved. And where exactly are the products coming from? Like, do you have a map, like, you know, an overview of where the products are coming from?
Do you want to see that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we can. Yeah, something like that.
On the world map, actually, most of the if we can still call it the third world countries, are involved in fair trade.
Yeah.
South Africa, most of the countries in Africa, you have East Africa and then a growing number of West African countries, and in Asia. And you see that the climate zones are those of the old colonial countries. So the products are normally those that we are used to buy in the supermarket, but different from what we are used to. We would know that here not only are the producers secured a fair income, but there is also no child labor, no slavery. More and more of the products are also ecologically approved.
Oh, right.
So when you buy a product that has a fair trade label on it, you also know that the people that work there will definitely send their children to school instead of some other areas.
And also what I can see that Fairtrade does is that it improves the work environment as well for the people working there. So it's really good. And I also read when we're doing the research that they have a contract also for the people that work there, which ensures them rights, and also for females, women that work, that they get, you know, proper maternity leave and things like that. So it's very good. It's not just, you know, the trading, but also for people working there. It's very great.
So the workers, as you say, they have a right to organize themselves, and then in addition to the salaries, if your product is really popular, so that the owners of the farm or the product chain earns a lot of money, you will also get a premium amount of money that goes to the workers themselves, so that really they come together in a democratic setting and decides how do we want to use this money for our local community. That can be healthcare, it can be extra activities for the children, it can be electricity or improvement of roads and things like that.
That's really great. So it's kind of like, you know, putting agriculture on a very great level with the fair trade label. You were saying something about like the products are ecological, and because, you know, normally as consumers we are used to comparing products to other products, and that was actually what I was wondering, that should consumers expect anything like much better from fair trade, or in terms of comparing it to other products? Because normally when I first saw fair trade products on the market, that was a long time ago, I was thinking mostly about like, oh, I'm probably donating. I wasn't even thinking about the product. I was thinking mostly like, if I buy this, I'm going to help somebody. But it's more like it's not just about donating, but it's actually about good product as well. You also have a guarantee that it is a high quality product. And in coffee, for instance, here at the City Hall, they serve fair trade coffee. And if you put that in a coffee machine, you soon realize that it is very, very strong. So you need to use less than normally, which tells you that this coffee is actually stronger than what you normally get. So you can't use the same amount, which is just one of several indicators that this is a good product. I just want to add that when it is also ecological, you have the two labels, so that you know that. Because there is a process that more and more of the fair trade products are ecological, but to make sure that the consumer know that it is ecological, the two labels are used. Because it didn't always used to be that way. Just to underline that. That's really great. And I have also understood that the product needs to be certified. Like there are some standards that producers or farmers need to follow. It
is very strict. So there is a third party that comes in and check on all the requirements for the certification, which is to take tests of the soil to make sure there is no chemicals in the soil if you produce coffee or banana, to look at the environment for the workers, to see that the health system is fine, and all the things that you expect at a good working place. So unless you score on these things, you may lose your certification status. So it's something that you always have to earn.
Okay.
Okay.
It is quite strict. Yeah.
It is, but it's also good that it's strict, so people know that it's something you should take seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely a good.
Doesn't it limit other people? Like, because sometimes, like, you know, back home, the way some of us do things, it's just like to do stuff to survive in such a way. But because I know there are a lot of farmers out there who are trying their best, and is there anything that Fairtrade is doing to help people, to educate them, to understand these standards and to follow them?
Yeah, first and for all, the Fairtrade system is growing so that more farmers that used to be either on their own or in different kind of companies can have their work in a secured environment. Then the main purpose is that more of the trade is ethical.
Yeah.
So by now, Fairtrade is the certification system that we feel strongest have all of its systems in order.
Yeah.
But the basic thing is that we as consumers should be more concerned about the workers, and whether they are working on their own or whether they are in a group is not so much important. But I think that when the awareness grows around this, it will also help others, those who might not be part of it, but who work for a different farmer, for instance, will say that, well, if you don't treat us well, we will go to this farm instead.
Okay.
So I think eventually it will also benefit those who are not part of the system.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, Trondheim is quite a Fairtrade friendly region, and not a lot of people know about Fairtrade. Myself included, I knew very little about Trondheim, about Fairtrade, even though I live in Trondheim, and I've actually grown up here. So what exactly are you doing to promote Fairtrade products, for example?
So for the few last years, we are, taking this stepwise.
Yeah.
We have made an information film that has been showed at the movie theaters. Okay. So we do both external information work to the public, but also inside the municipality's own activities.
Okay.
We try to increase the purchasing for Fairtrade. So for instance, if you work at the canteen or a school in Trondheim and you need to buy something, you go to the e-purchasing on the internet.
Yeah.
And if you open the internet page, the Fairtrade products should come up before the other products.
Okay, that's really good.
That's really good,
I didn't know that.
And then we have information work, like now in March, we meet with all the representative of the environmental education in the schools and kindergartens, and we have workshops, and we try to also involve the local businesses to encourage them to take in more products. So gradually we hope that all together this will make the awareness grow. So sometimes we have campaigns at the bus shelters, other times we try to get articles in the paper and so on.
That's really
that's really great.
So like, what can people do to help promote Fairtrade or to involve themselves and be engaged in Fairtrade?
We have certain NGOs that have a special interest in this and that can have campaigns on the street. For instance, the youth group of Save the Children.
Yeah.
They often have activities on the street to promote Fairtrade. Then we also have the Church Aid, who have ethical trade as part of their education for the people that are going for confirmation. So there's different ways of getting involved, and you as a person, if you don't want to involve yourself more than just making conscious choices when you consume, that is a very helpful way as well.
That is true.
And we've also your family is they are very much involved with Fairtrade. You have 2 daughters, and the eldest is very much involved. I think we'll talk to her later about her experience, because she has so much to share. And because of time, we don't have enough time on our side. We also know that you're very much involved in other projects, and I was quite impressed that you have a project about eco schools in Ghana. Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, maybe you have noticed when you are out in Trondheim, if you look at the schools and kindergartens here, you see that all now, after a long process, have a green flag at their mast. And that is because they are eco schools here. It has been a process from 2003 up till now, 10 years, where all the schools have been certified as eco schools, which is an educational and practical system. And as a politician, I have seen how useful this way of teaching the children, learning by doing, is, because when it comes to waste management, when it comes to energy savings, when it comes to fair trade awareness or ecological eating or healthy eating, the eco school have been a very good way of introducing it.
Okay.
So I have seen that as a tool of implementing environmental policies. So in a collaboration with some schools in Ghana, we have tried to see if this is something that could be transferred. And we have some friendship schools, exchange schools, which has really picked up on this. They have been here to learn, and we have been down there to teach them some. And now we are hoping to go nationally in Ghana. That's the goal. So we are actually negotiating with the government, and hopefully they will buy into it.
Yeah, okay.
That's very good.
Because we were wondering, like, why exactly Ghana? Is it because you have a Ghanaian background, like you're part-time Ghanaian, that is why you chose? Because there are few countries. I just looked up into eco schools in Africa, because it's like in Europe and in other Western worlds it's going very well, but in Africa there are just few of them, few countries who kind of like, you know, are into the eco schools.
Yes, south of Sahara it's only South Africa, Uganda and Kenya that is now running the eco schools. But hopefully, I mean, of course I start in Ghana because that's the country that I know, but hopefully if we get a chance to get a foothold there, we hope to spread the program to other countries as we move on.
That's very good. Yeah. But exactly, could you just explain quickly for the people who don't know exactly what an eco school is? We know it has something to do with the environment, but what exactly is an eco school?
Yeah. An eco school is a school that, beyond just the normal curricula, involve themselves in the local community. And do their education through more practical approach. So you have a board at the school that work, an environmental board, where you have teachers, but you also have to have students. So you start the whole process by investigating what is the problem here in my local community. What can we do to make a difference? And how can we do that according to our curricula? So like in Ghana now, when the government says that, we need to start waste sorting, source sorting, it would be very natural that the schools were the ones that started the process, so that the others in the local community could see, what are these people doing? And then learn from them. And this is actually how we have done it in Trondheim as well. So in many households, it is the children who tells the parents that don't throw this here, you can throw it there, don't buy this, do that. So it's a way of implementing local or national goals as well through education.
And that's a great way of doing it. Because it's like you say, they bring the information back home. So it doesn't just stop at the school.
Right.
So it's absolutely a great way of implementing it.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough time on our side, but we are very grateful that you could actually be part of this interview. And is there any link or any website that people can look into if they are interested to know more about fair trade and eco schools?
Yes, of course. For the English speakers, I think that if they look up Fairtrade Africa on internet, they will find a lot of information, both on products and farms and the system itself. They have their own websites. Of course, if they are more interested in what is going on in Trondheim, we have Trondheim Fairtrade Blogspot, which is an information channel, as well as Trondheim Fairtrade on Facebook. And the Eco School, they could look up, it's run by an international organization called Foundation for Environmental Education, FEE. So if they look up FEE International. They will find all the information about eco-schools and other similar programs.
That's really good. We'll also write the links.
Very good.
Yeah, for everybody to like, because there's so much, I'm really impressed that there's so much going on around us and we're not even aware of it. And the only way to talk about it is like, talking about it in public and letting people be aware of it. Thank you very much for joining us on Discuss Africa.
My pleasure, and thank you for having this forum.
Okay. It's been a pleasure to have Hilda Opoku-Mensah to talk about fair trade, and as we told you earlier on, we have one of her family members who is actively engaged in fair trade.
Yes.
She's more like fair trade ambassador, and you only 16. You only 16. What's your name?
Sandra.
Sandra.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My name is Mabel, and this is
Akanze.
yeah. So we're from Discuss Africa, and we just want you to share your experience that you've had with fair trade, because there's so much going on, and it will be very nice for you to share. Your
How did you get
experience.
involved with fair trade? Like, did you ask your mom and tell her that
or your mom told you?
Or your mom told you to be a part of it?
No, I think I got interested because of my mom.
Yeah.
And then also I go to Ghana a lot. And then we went to visit this kind of fair trade farms and stuff, and that kind of got me more interested.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to learn more, so I've just been asking my mom, kind of following her around to like events and stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
really
your
cool.
mom is a cool mom.
Yeah.
Mom can follow you around. Yeah.
I want to get involved.
Yeah. But that's really great, because it's you're really like a role model for others, like youngsters, those who are at your age, and But what exactly did you see when you visited these fair trade farms? And
the thing was, I was kind of skeptical, and then like, does this really work? Is this, yeah. And then when we got there, I could see like with my own eyes that, wow, it does work, or just me buying, like choosing this bananas instead of this banana helps people get an education, helps, stuff like that. So
so you're more like an eyewitness for like fair trade, what is going on, and then when you come back to Trondheim, what is it that you normally do? Because you must, of course, like share the information that you get.
I've been around talking a bit to like people. And then,
You've been like a spokesperson for fair trade. Yeah.
It's like sharing your experience and
giving out information.
Yeah. Where do you know? Where is it? Like, is it mostly schools, or you hold any like workshops?
Yeah, mostly schools.
Mostly schools, like.
Yeah.
Is it like what's it called? Like high schools, or is it?
It's mostly
first graders, second graders. Like how?
Isabel Elementary School.
Elementary school.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's really great. So how often do you normally go to Ghana?
At least once a year.
Once a year, and you normally go to the farms, like, or it's just like.
No, I've been there a couple of times, but I hope to go back sometime and just like see that it's still working and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
really interesting, because it's not some kids. Well, I won't say all of them, but some kids. I'm sure they will need to learn a lot from your experience. But thank you very much for sharing this experience.
You are an inspiration, though, because a lot of people will be watching this and they'll be like,
I want to get involved.
Because they see that it's not just, I mean, when you think about organizations, it's like old people, but they also see that the youths are involved. So if you want to get involved in fair trade.
Look at Sandra.
Yes,
Sandra from
she's a
Trondheim
great
getting
example.
involved. Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing this with us.
Thank you.